boogeyman. We see life. Oh my goodness. We don't hide under our blankets like we used to when we was kids, and we peek out around the edge. Preppers do not see boogeymen around every corner. We don't see them under the bed. We don't see them in the closet. What we see is life. What we see is what we see every day that we read on the news, that we see on the TV, that we see in our papers, we see it on the computers. We see out there in life. This is what we see every day. Oh, we don't do this. We don't see boogeyman. We don't see imaginary people. Now, man, I do talk to myself a lot, but who don't? And my thoughts are always running. What we see is life. What we see is what's around us. Now, some people are concerned because of the government. The government has proved over the years is showing, and time again, cutting this program, cutting that program, taking this away. They say you make too much money. We can't help you. But I don't bring that home. By the time I get taxes and I pay my insurance and I pay this and I pay that, I don't see it, but it don't matter. We go by your net pay, so we can't help you. Most people, by the time they pay what bills they have, they don't have enough money to feed themselves. They're living off of macaroni and cheese. I remember I ate so much tomato soup and crackers. I wouldn't even eat it for a long time. A lot of times there was time I went through macaroni and cheese. And I remember making homemade fried potato cakes to eat on because that's all I had to do. I had to survive with what I had. So boogie people out there, the boogie people we see out there, is all the stuff we see every day. We see the cost of food going up. We see them just light bill going up. Always goes up during the winter months. You ever notice that? They jump the rates up because we use more electricity. We see politicians getting their hands caught in the cookie jar. Of course, they're sacrificing this one for others that's probably doing a whole lot of worse. We see countries starving to death, skin and bone, and most of the food that was supposed to get to them is being stolen by their own government that's selling it on the black market. Isn't that awful? This is what preppers see. We see as we get older that we just don't have the money to survive like we do. So we have to change our way of thinking. Old people get in line. Next time you're in line behind some old people, mature people, and you see them buying 30 cans of cat food, makes you wonder if maybe they're eating that cat food themselves, because it is a lot cheaper. And I've tried dog food. Not particularly my favorite, but I did try a can of Alpo's and others. But you know what? If I'm hungry enough, I'm going to eat it. And if that's all they can afford, now the thing is, the dog food and the cat food is made with real meat in it. It's cheaper to buy than what's in the stores for them to eat. Isn't that something? So we don't sit here and hide under the blanket. We don't peek out like this. Now I admit, you do have some that are totally out there. But there may be a reason for it. And I admit some of them just this. And they're peeping out around the corner. And they got 10 years worth of food saved up. For whatever reason. But it doesn't mean necessarily they're crazy. And I admit, you'll see some of them walking around with the signs, preaching at the ends of the days. Doom, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. They're preaching it. And I admit, we have them out there. But preppers, we don't see boogeymen. Not like what you think. No, we don't curl up and hide under our blankets. What we do, we get upset. We see things. We look at things different when we're walking around looking at people. We're looking at these people with these manicured fingernails, their perfect hair, the men in the three-piece suits. And tomorrow, what would happen for tomorrow? If all this stuff that people's used to, the kids who are computer savvy, who's got to have the latest game out, if all this is gone tomorrow, the increase in obesity, the increase in health areas, the increase in GMO that's being put into the bloodstream, the preservatives that people are consuming in their diet every day. People eat food in the amount of calories what they would eat food 20 or 30 years ago, or even before that, when everybody walked and they worked in the fields and did all this stuff. But as the computer age develops, we're doing this, and we're doing less of getting out, being active. We've gotten to the point we're so used to just going to the store and pulling out that TV dinner, or those Pop-Tarts, or a box of cereal, or whatever. It's been made rather easy for us, and we've gotten really spoiled. But preppers, we don't see boogeymen. Well, maybe. Depends on how you look at it. I see them in my nightmares sometimes. I dream about, I'll watch a movie and it'll just really affect me. Armageddon or whatever, a zombie outbreak or a virus or the government crashing or another government taking over another government or a war. And then I'll dream about it and I'll wake up just upset. My heart's just doing this. I'm sweating or I'm freezing because it bothered me. It touched me here. It touched my soul. It touched my consciousness. It bothered me. Preppers are not afraid of the boogeyman. Well, like I said, not the kind of boogeyman most people think. And I will say some are eccentric. Some are out there. But you know what? Those eccentric ones who sees things, whether they're sound mind or not, may be the person to save your life in a situation. These people who's raising their own food, the people who's doing organic farming, these people who have gave up what their other life was and moved out onto a farm or whatever and started raising their own crops and their own animals and just solar energy and wind power. Not everybody is living in a cabin or a shack or out of their cave with some candles or burning wood or whatever it is. They're not running around sitting squatting on a big old stump going, howling at the moon or growling. We don't hide under these covers like we did when we was a child. And we all did it. We just like, oh my God, what's in the closet? What's in the dark? I want to hide my face. Maybe I'll go away. Maybe it'll go away if I hide under the cover and they can't see me. But I just peek out, just make sure there's nothing there. Nothing in the dark. Just like in the dark, our imagination runs away with us. Well, the thing is, the principle of prepping is the same thing as being in the dark when you can't see what's around you. When everything's gone, you can't see past Your steps are so dark you can't even see the front of your hand. That is what a lot of preppers think about. They think outside of that box. Now, everybody's different. Everybody has certain comfort things they like and things like and things. Some of them might like, more meat and might can a bunch of meat or whatever. Some of them might like more vegetable. They might be vegetarians. Some of them stocked up on soap, or they're stocked up on coffee, or they're stocked up on other things. But the thing is they changed their life around because something bothered them. Something bothered them from a child to an older person. Now we got all kinds of preppers. You got couch potatoes out there. It talks a good game. They get all the magazines in, and they order what's out of the magazines, and they'll talk smack, but they don't ever get off the couch. Then you got some of them, this bushcraft preppers that gets out there and actually does the nature thing and stuff. Then you got some of the survivalists, the ones who have relocated out somewhere away from people, and maybe the nearest neighbor is 4 hours away, and they live out that way. But in order to get there, they all had to work at one point of one time or another to get this money built up to be able to buy this home or whatever. Now, not everybody does it. Some of them just lives out of their backpack. Several of them does. They choose to live out of the backpack. They live out there in nature. They live out in the wilderness. That's their lifestyle. They choose to live like that. It's not an easy lifestyle, but that's their choice. Why a lot of people preppers don't talk about prepping? I want to tell you what, I've talked about it. I talk about my channel. I've talked about it, people, about putting things up and answering a question. They give me this look like, gosh, she's crazy. There's something wrong with this woman. She's telling me, asking me if I have extra water put up. Or do I have extra food put up? Oh my gosh. I turn around. I told my friend, I've got some groceries I want to bring over to you. I got more than I need. I go through my cabinets every so often. I start rotating things out and cleaning it up and see what I got, because I'll just go in and just buy stuff on sale or whatever, stock up. I said, you know what? I said, I probably got 4 months of food stocked up. I don't need it. And then when I want my fresh meat, I buy it when I need it, because I live by myself. As long as I've got beans and rice and oats and other things to keep me going, I'm fine with it. Don't have to have the meat. It's nice to have it, but if I don't have it, I still got enough food to live on. So don't judge preppers by what you think. You think we all see the boogeyman. We're all hiding behind our blankets. We're not. A lot of them don't even post on sites. They don't even join the groups. A lot of these groups, I'll check the articles out, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Some of them sees a lot of things. Not saying they're wrong. They just see things different than I see things different. One of my friends says, I know you don't like guns, but you don't want to bring a knife to a gunfight. I says, well, I don't have a problem with guns. I just can't afford one. But in an SHTF situation, if they was out there with the guns, the situation, I would hide and wait till some idiot come my way, and I would take the gun away from him. I have no problems taking that knife and using it. In a situation like that, when it means doggy dog, and they're there to kill me, they're there to take my food, they're there to take my shelter, I have no problems doing what I have to do in a situation like that. So preppers don't hide behind their blankets. We don't hide and peek out and see the boogeyman. As a general rule, most of us don't. For me, it's getting back to basics. I was telling a friend about getting some cedar, making me up some spray, some cedar spray for the fleas this year, and also for the house, to air the house out. She just looked at me. She said, "There's something called Freebreeze at the store." I said, "Paula, my friend," I says, "that thing's running between $5 and $6. When I reuse my bottle over and over, and all I do is just go harvest my cedar. I go harvest it, and I'll brew it up, and I'll fix it up and put it in a spray bottle to use. And I can use that bottle over and over. And I can recycle whatever I have over and over and reuse it. So, my friends, don't think we're scared because we see the boogeyman. I see the boogeyman. You're the boogeyman. Not really. Not really. I don't think you're the boogeyman necessarily. Well, you could be the boogeyman. You could be knocking at my door, ready to cut my throat. You could be there to take my food. You could be there to hurt me. But we're just taking care of ourselves and making sure with the cost of living that we got some food on our table. I'm looking forward to spring. I'm looking forward to planting some tomatoes. I'm looking forward to planting some okra. And all of them I'm going to do natural. I'm not going to do it with chemicals. I'm going to do it naturally with my plant food that I make. I'm going to use my worm compost bin, put some fresh worms in there, catch some droppings from it, put it on my plants like I did. I had 6-foot tomato plants. Ain't that something? As tall as my fence was. And the tomatoes tasted wonderful. I ate so many tomatoes I got tired of it. I gave some of them to a friend of mine. You know, the thing is, just even planting the bell peppers, planting a few plants saves me money. And by me doing it organic like, by not putting chemicals on my plants and using natural stuff to keep the bugs off, to feed my plants, I will save money and I will be better off with what I've raised for myself to help feed me. So this is live prepper here. And when you see the boogeyman, whether he's in your dreams or out there every day, you're seeing something. Then think about what I said. We don't see boogeyman. We don't hide behind our blankets. No. We just kind of prepare ourselves for what if it does happen. What if the store shuts down tomorrow? What if there's no food? It's a lot to think about. What if? We just try to take care of ourselves and our families and our friends because it can happen. It can very well happen tomorrow. And it might not last but 6 months, and it happens every day, everywhere around the world. If you look at it, you'll realize it happens every day. Well, this is life prepper here. I want you to be safe, be happy. Bless you all.